I think I'm live now. So yeah, how should I start this for the people who are watching this on a playback? What's going on, everybody? So I figure I should do a live stream right now. I'm not feeling all that great. My throat is kind of hurting, so I'm gonna try and see how long I can do a live stream. For anybody who's joining right now, make sure you let me know how the audio sounds because I haven't done a live stream in a while. I missed one last week. I think the last one I did. What's up, Roberto and Joshua and Unknown and the Rodriguez? I hope the audio is okay. If it is, just let me know. But the last live stream I did was actually the 10,000 subscribers live stream, which I feel like was so long ago because now I have 13,000. But it wasn't. So sounds good. Okay, audio's good. So anyways. Like I said, my throat's been hurting the past few days. Don't know what it is. I don't normally get sick. I'm not sick. It's just my throat is hurting. I don't have strep throat or anything like that. But it has been a pain. So anyways. Slightly on the loud side. I don't know. Maybe I should move it away some. If I do that, maybe. That'll help. I'm using this microphone right here. So... and I don't want to adjust the audio, but I'll just try not to talk too loud. What is my take on the thrift savings plan versus old retirement? Well, actually, the thrift savings plan is just a current thing that you can do right now. You can be on the old retirement and still do the TSP. That is basically what the thrift savings plan is basically the military's version of the 401k or investing in a mutual fund or an index fund or something like that. And it's a pretty simple process. Right now I'm going through the process and I'm submitting the paperwork and stuff to get my TSP paperwork done. But basically you get some paperwork filled out, you let them know how much of your paycheck you want to go and put into this thing, and then the military will match it, I believe, up to 5%. And that's really all it is. If you know what an index fund is, or a mutual fund, or a 401k, that's really all the TSP is. And what they're doing for the new retirement plan, the blended retirement system, is they're kind of incorporating that into the retirement. The old retirement didn't have that included, but I guess the real difference here is if you're going to invest in the TSP, the new plan is good. If you're not going to invest in the TSP, then the old plan is good. And you know, if you do the old plan right now, since I've already been in the military, I'd have the opportunity of I think it's called like the high 3, the old plan. I have the opportunity to stay in the current plan, and if I do that, then what I can do instead of like maybe doing the TSP is just invest in an index fund. So anyways, there's pros and cons to both. I should be going through the class here really soon, because what they're going to do for everybody who's in the Army is they're going to put them through I don't know how long the class is going to be, but it's supposed to be a much more informative class to help you ensure that you're picking the best one for you. And I should be going through that really soon here, so maybe I'll talk more about that once I do that. Sub me and I'll sub back Ace. I don't know if you're saying that to me or to them, but I don't do that. Is it easy to change MOSs? Yes and no. You can change MOSs and it can be super easy, but at the same time, the only way that you're going to get to change your MOS is if your unit actually needs that MOS. So let's say for some reason, I don't know, you're like a water treatment specialist or something like that, and you want to be a truck driver. If your current unit no longer needs your old MOS and they need an 88 mic, then you have a very high possibility chance that you can change your MOS to that. If you're wanting to just join the military in a certain MOS and then your recruiter is lying to you saying that's going to be super easy, that yeah, sure, as soon as you get done with the AIT you can apply or whatever to get your MOS changed, that's not true, because it is by needs of the Army, not by what you want. So for your first job that you want, make sure you get the best one. The one that you're okay with having in case you can't change your MOS, because sometimes people will go to a recruiter, talk to them, be like, hey, I want this MOS, and the recruiter's like, oh, that's not available, but you can have this one, and later in your career you can switch to this one. That's kind of true, but it's not. It's much easier said than done. So make sure the job you pick is the job that you're okay with having in case you can't switch. So anyways, what are some of the coolest MOSs? Dylan, that is totally subjective. If you don't like IT stuff, then none of the 25 series jobs are gonna spike your attention or anything. If you don't like mechanical stuff, then nothing that has to do with, you know, mechanics or working on engines or working on anything like that is going to interest you, because that would not interest me. If I had to work on a Humvee engine or even like an Apache helicopter or just anything, that wouldn't interest me at all. So that is just completely subjective. Infantry, Cav Scouts, Forward Observer, things like that, they will be a lot of fun, but you're also going to, those are some of the more sucky jobs, because you are doing some of the more sucky things in the Army that, you know, is more physically demanding. And holy crap, we got 104 people watching right now. That is ridiculous. I wasn't actually thinking there was going to be a lot because it's late on Saturday night. Yeah, it's late on a Saturday night, and I was doing it tonight because I'm actually going to like a Christmas party thing tomorrow, and I don't know how late that's going to be done, so yeah. Mr. Turd Tickler. Oh, that's funny. 104 people with 44 likes. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Like I've said before in past videos, and like I've said on past videos, for some reason the YouTube thing that they have to where that I live stream through, I can't see how many people have liked the video. So right now I see 109 people watching, but I can't see how many people like the videos. So, how strict is the Army on tattoos, Michael? It basically, it's strict, but not strict at the same time. So, if you have any tattoos, so here's my wrist. If you have any tattoos that are below your wrist or above your neck, so basically, right here, if you have any tattoos above your neck or below your wrist, that's a no-go. If you have anything like that, like some people have asked me, like there might be a female, she has a tattoo behind her ear, you're going to have to get that removed more than likely. You just plan on having to get the tattoo removed if it's below your hands. If your whole entire hand is tatted up and you've got tattoos on your fingers and you got a tattoo on the side of your face, you could just go ahead and kiss joining the Army goodbye. But aside from that, you know, on your body, if you have something on your back, it's okay. You can be basically from, you know, if you want to be safe, you know, try to stick to your forearm. But, you know, from your forearm up around, you can be fully tatted. But it didn't actually used to be like that. It used to be, actually before I joined, the tattoo couldn't be bigger than your hand. So if I had a tattoo on my arm, it couldn't be bigger than my hand. So rules can change. Things like that can change. Maybe one day they'll allow you to have tattoos on your hand, or maybe they'll just be like, oh, you can only have one tattoo. But currently right now it's what I said, hand and from the neck up. So, have you ever had problems having to shave every day? Yeah, a lot of people actually experience issues shaving every day. I don't know how often you guys do it, but if you shave every single freaking day, it's a real pain in the butt. Even if you don't grow a lot of facial hair, you're still going to have to shave every day, especially when you're going through the whole training process, because they will come up to you. Like, it is, I don't care if you don't grow any facial hair at all, like, it's still really noticeable if you've gone a day without shaving. And a lot of people will end up getting bumps, right? They'll end up getting bumps and stuff on their neck, and you can end up getting a waiver for that, actually, if they're really bad. Like, they have to actually be really bad, but a lot of people end up developing bumps on their necks and their cheeks and stuff because they shave every day. And then you can get a waiver to where your hair on your face can be 1/8 of an inch long. So, I don't know, that's like that big or so. So you can get a waiver for that, and then I guess you could use an electric razor or whatever. But for me personally, really the only thing I get is maybe like, you know, on the side, on my sideburns right here, if the razor isn't that sharp and I've been using it, like let's say I'm out in the field, and I usually like to get a brand new razor whenever I go out to the field. But I guess it maybe irritates me a little bit with my sideburns, but man, what is going on? Merry Christmas, shoot 'em up. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Atham Aldekua. I'm sorry, I probably totally trashed your name. That was ridiculous. I'm really sorry, but thank you. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Christmas is pretty much coming up real soon right now. My family every year actually goes to the beach for the week before Christmas. So on Wednesday, I'm actually leaving for the beach, and I actually come home on Christmas Day. So I'm really excited for that myself. Really excited to relax. This semester of my schooling is over for college, so I only got one semester more of college until it's second lieutenant ward. I'm really excited about that. Just the other day, also, yeah, by the way, I do like the 777 for that donation. That's pretty good. But just the other day, I went to the fall 2017 commissioning ceremony for my college, University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So all the cadets who are graduating this past fall, they commissioned, and holy crap, that I'm like super ready to be a second lieutenant. I'm really stoked for it. I'm really excited. There's a lot of I guess responsibility that's held with that. There was a brigade commander that came and he talked, and he was pretty legit. He was brigade commander for the 82nd Airborne, who just got back from Iraq in Mosul, and they were fighting against ISIS and stuff like that. And he was pretty legit, and he pretty much pumped us up. So I'm super pumped up to be a freaking butter bar, which is kind of funny. What about finances and credit before enlisting? Yeah, that's actually a thing that I don't think I've ever talked about. So great question. That is something that the military actually looks at joining, and I'll tell you why. If you've ever wondered why the military looks at your credit score, your credit history, and all that stuff before you join, because it's actually kind of important. Because if you're looking to join the military and you have a crap ton of money in debt, I'm talking, I don't know, hundreds of $1,000s in debt, you're behind on everything, you've got a terrible credit score, you're just super behind. Well, they look at that as a sign that this person might be more susceptible to basically be bought off as a traitor. So they might be more susceptible for the enemy to find out, hey, this guy's got a lot of debt. He needs some money. So what we could possibly do, ISIS, is talk to this guy and be like, hey, we see that you're $400,000 in debt. I don't know what a big number would be for the Army. Let's just say 400,000. They're like, hey, you're $400,000 in debt. If you just tell us a little bit of this information on where your unit is going to be at, where times like that, we'll give you $400,000 and we'll pay off all your debts and all your loans and you'll be good. So somebody who's in extreme debt like that is going to be much more susceptible to being bought off. So that is actually the biggest reason why the military looks at that. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can have a bad credit score, you can have some debt, but if it's ridiculous, then that's not good. You aren't answering any of my questions. I'm looking right here at you guys, and I got 132 freaking people watching right now, which is crazy. So, I will do my best. I mean, if you guys would have been subscribed to me back in the day, the first few live streams I did, I had 15 to 20, maybe 25 people watching these live streams, and it was really easy to answer every single question. It's kind of getting hard to do that. So anyways, where's one of your questions that I missed? Asha, where's one of your questions? I don't even see one of your questions. What are my thoughts on Ranger School, Ace? And also Krishna Ward. Well, thank you. I'm glad that my videos are helpful. But what are my thoughts on Ranger School? First of all, my thoughts on Ranger School is I want to go to Ranger School. Hopefully, I'll be going to Ranger School at the beginning of 2019 once I finish my SBOLC, so my signal bullet training as an officer. I would really like to go to Ranger School. It is going to be probably the hardest thing. It is definitely going to be the hardest thing I've ever done. I know that for 100% fact. Whenever I just tell people in the Army that I want to do Ranger School, they look at you kind of like they're crazy. But in my opinion, they just don't have the mentality that I have, or the mentality of people who want to go to Ranger School. They're just like a different kind of person. So I want to go to Ranger School. It is an amazing leadership school. It is the best leadership school that the Army has to offer. It is one of the toughest schools that the Army has to offer. And I think it is amazing. So I definitely want to do it. So that's my thoughts on it. So if I want to do it, it's good. And it'll be tough. Please talk about swimming in OCS. I don't know about the whole day-to-day stuff on OCS because I didn't go through OCS. I'm going through the ROTC program. So I enlisted, and then I joined the ROTC program. What's up, Common Parker? If you go in 2019, I might be there at the same time as you. I think it would be awesome and hilarious at the same time if I ever meet any of you guys at Ranger School or at Bullock. Or I mean, potentially I could be somebody watching right now. I could be your company commander one day, and that is like, whoo, that's pretty cool to me. Because a lot of the other military YouTubers, so let's say Nick Bear, for example, BPN, also recent sponsor of me, which is mind blowing. He just got out. He just got out of the military, so he can't be another person's company commander. And I don't know of any other YouTuber who's an officer. So as far as I know, I'm the only YouTuber that has to do with the military that will be an officer, not currently an officer, but will be an officer. So the fact that I could be a company commander of one of my current subscribers right now is like super cool to me. I think it's really cool. It's super cool. Beverly, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Asha. You are famous among all the instructors and people going through the Ranger School. What does that mean? Didn't your brother go to Fort Jackson for basic training? That's where I'm going for basic July 5th. Yeah, he went to Fort Jackson for basic training. Then he actually went to he had an option 40 contract. He went to pre-RASP, ended up deciding that he didn't want to be in the 75th Ranger Regiment anymore, which is perfectly fine. And then he went to, or he actually did Airborne school, and then he went to pre-RASP, and then he got out, got into the 82nd Airborne, and currently he is deployed in Afghanistan right now. And I need some of this now, because my throat. So like the video, because I'm coming at you guys with the live stream. This is the last chance that I have to do a live stream, probably for 2 weeks, or at least after Christmas, because like I said, I'm going to be busy tomorrow, Christmas party, and then I'm going to be super busy the rest of the nights because I need to make videos because I'm going to the beach the week before Christmas, so I'm not going to have a chance to live stream at the beach. So this is the last chance I have to live stream. So anyways, oh, this is so hard to talk right now. I'm a cadet in Canada, and now you are in the U.S., but I know you are in the U.S., but any tips? I'm not sure exactly how the Canadian stuff works, but my tips, I don't know. I mean, as always, be good at PT and work on your leadership skills, right? So being a cadet and going to be an officer, transitioning to be an officer, it's actually a little bit harder than I thought as far as the knowledge goes and the amount of things that goes into actually leading people. There's a lot more that goes into it than I thought. You know, I don't know if y'all have anything like troop leading procedures or the steps that you go through whenever receiving a mission from your commander to actually issuing your frago, issuing your warning order, issuing your op order to your platoon, all the steps in between, and how you should communicate and put people in different positions. There's a lot more that goes into that than I thought coming in as a cadet. So make sure you understand that stuff and really take every position or every opportunity to get leadership positions. Now, and what I mean by that is if you're going to go through any training exercises and stuff, the more experience you have leading, the better off you're going to be. So, can I be in the Army with a 15 ASVAB? JT, oh, okay. No, you can't be in the Army with the 15 ASVAB. What's up, man? That's pretty cool. Oh, anybody going to Fort Jackson in June? That's pretty sweet. JT Sweets, Navy YouTuber, pretty sweet. My cousin is an airborne ranger. One day, I would love to accomplish that as a female. That would be really cool. Like I said, if you're a female out there and you're wanting to do a combat job, if you're wanting to do that, you really need to gain the respects of the soldiers right now, because it's not like this for everybody, but for some people, they still don't think that females belong in combat positions. And one of the ways that you can kind of deter that is kick their butt at PT, right? So kick their butt at PT to help with that. So if you're wanting to do that, work on that. So I'm cheating on Archie. That's funny. Krista Ward. I will answer your question because you have the same last name as me, of course. I always have to find it in the comments if I can find it. You said please answer my question twice. What do you guys do at AIT training? That is completely dependent on your job, right? So AIT is your advanced individual training for your job that you signed up with your recruiter. So that is completely dependent on that. So with my job as a 25 Bravo, or I used to be a 25 Bravo, now going to be a 25 Alpha, which is a signal officer, what we did was the first 5 weeks was basically an overview of computers, technology, networking, and kind of how computers work in general. Then the next few steps was networking. So if any of you guys are out there want to be 25 Bravos, this will help you out. The next 4 weeks was basically networking, CCNA, dealing with switches and routers and how those work and kind of programming those things. Then we had security classes, so how the security for computers and how really in depth on how that goes. Then we went into more Army specific stuff on how the Army itself actually deals with security, how we set up the network and do all that crap. And then the last week or so was like an overview week, and then we got tested out. So that's what we did. So anyways. Oh, and Robbie's here. Man, I got a couple military YouTubers in my live stream right now. This is cool. And currently my live stream is frozen on my side, which is crazy. By the way, guys, this is going to be a really cool Christmas present. But right now I'm like on track to hitting 15,000 subscribers by Christmas, which is crazy. It's literally crazy. I am growing insanely fast right now. I remember my goal was to, at the beginning of January, before December was over, to hit 10,000 subscribers. I hit 10,000 on December 1st, and then it's December 16th right now, and I'm at like 13,500 or somewhere around there. Like, that is blowing my mind. How's the new name/brand coming along? I think it's coming along good. For those of you who don't know, I plan on changing my name on YouTube from Shoot 'em Up to Matt Ward, which is my actual name. Reason I'm doing that is because, well, there's a couple of reasons I'm doing that. Number one is I feel like that's better for branding, for myself, for my future, for the future of the channel. The reason it was Shoot 'em Up before was because actually I used to make Call of Duty gaming videos like freaking 6 years ago, and Shoot 'em Up is actually my gamer tag for Xbox. So that's kind of where that came along, and I really didn't expect things to actually get as big as they've gotten on YouTube, so I never thought about starting making YouTube videos with my name. But as you guys saw on my Instagram, which you can follow right here, I have this nice little logo that I made right here that is like an Instagram and Snapchat mixed together. So you can follow me right there. And on there, I was playing around in Photoshop, and you can see kind of what I did. I may go with that theme. I don't know yet, but I was contemplating on ideas for making a new YouTube header, because currently I feel like my YouTube header right now freaking sucks. I made it like one time late at night. But yeah, so I think it's going good. My plan is on January 1st, like the new year. The plan is on January 1st, I will then change my name. New year, it'll be like new year, new me kind of thing. I guess that's super cheesy, but I feel like to do it then, and I'll make a video letting you guys know so that when you see Matt Ward in your sub box, you're not like, who the heck is this person? So anyways, oh man, Calvin Online donating $5, enjoying the content, man, with a spaceship taking off. That is awesome. Thank you. I really love it when you guys let me know on Instagram, Snapchat that you're enjoying my videos and that it's helping you guys, because that really means a lot to me, especially the fact that I'm getting so many messages on Snapchat and Instagram combined now that it's getting hard to reply to them all, but I am still going to do it. Like, I'm still just going to go from the oldest person or the oldest message all the way up. But I really appreciate it when you guys reach out to me on Instagram and Snapchat and either ask me questions. Like, I don't really care what it is. That means a lot to me that you, I guess, respect me enough to ask me for your opinion or my opinion and stuff like that. So, can you do what can you do with a score of 90? If you're talking about on the ASVAB, you should be able to do anything, because a score of a 90 should give you a GT score above a 110, which will qualify you for anything. Are you allowed to grow a beard in the Army Reserves? Yes and no. So in between your drill weekends, you can pretty much have facial hair between your drill weekends, but you can't. When you're in uniform, you have to be clean shaven. By like the doctrine, you're still supposed to be clean shaven all the time, 24/7. You're still supposed to shave every single day, even when you're in the Army National Guard or the Army Reserves. But literally nobody does that at all. Literally freaking nobody. I did it at the beginning once I got out of AIT, but you know, Sergeant Major's doing it. Like literally, it's not a big deal. Just as long as you are clean shaved, you're good to go when you're in uniform. When you show up to drill, that's all they really care about. So, well, thank you, Ashley. So, what other questions did I miss on here? What other questions did I miss? Yes, to Darian. Currently I have like an email address posted that you guys can email me at, but if you want to contact me, please don't contact me over email, because for your sake and for my sake, I'm probably not going to get back to you nearly as fast as if you were to contact me on Instagram. Contact me on Instagram. That's going to be the best way to do it, because number one, if you contact me on Snapchat, that's totally fine. I'll probably get back to you just as fast as Instagram, maybe even faster, because I've been on Snapchat a lot recently. But on Snapchat, I have to actually explicitly save the message, and sometimes I forget to save a message whenever I switch people or get off and I talk to somebody else or whatever, and sometimes I'll get messages confused, which is kind of funny. A few times I've done that. But on Instagram, I can actually, the messages are saved and I don't have to worry about them disappearing. So yeah, you can contact me on Instagram. Email, email is not set up. I don't think I'm at like a point right now, like if I had a specific, email for the channel, I probably wouldn't check it but like once a week. So Michael Clark coming in with another $5 donation. Holy cow. You didn't say message, man. Like, what is going on? You didn't say message. Any last minute tips for basic before I leave next week? Yeah, I do a lot of last minute tips. That's probably one of the most common questions that I get. People ask it all the time, even though I've got like a whole bunch of videos on last minute tips. But last minute tips. Pack super light. You don't want to pack heavy because you're not going to need pretty much anything that you're going to bring to basic training. Once you get to reception day one, you're going to change your clothes. You're going to change your clothes. You're going to get in your PT clothes. You're going to put your stuff in your bag, and it's going to go in a locker, and you're not going to get it. You're not going to see it. So if you pack any extra jeans, whatever, it's just wasted. Whenever you get to the shark attack for day one of basic training, you're going to be holding all that weight over your head. So the less you bring, the better. Just keep that in mind when you're going. Also, last minute tips, just make sure you appreciate the time you have now before you go. One of the things that, whenever I went to my first drill, I feel like my voice is totally tearing up right now. But whenever I went to my first drill, I actually went to an Army Reserves drill before I left for basic training, and I was talking to them, and asking them for advice and stuff. It was actually the first time I actually got to talk to soldiers besides my recruiter before leaving for basic training, and I left for basic training about a week after I went to this first drill. And I was talking to them, and they were just like, you're going to realize that you don't appreciate things now as much as you think you do, and there's going to be a lot of little things that you take for granted. So my advice to anybody who's about to leave or anything, make sure you just take the time to appreciate your family. Even if you're like in a bad relationship with your parents or whatever, just like take the time to appreciate that, because you don't really realize how important it is to you until the opportunity to talk to them is gone. Because if you are currently a civilian, if you've gone traveling and you've done things like this, and maybe you're at college and you don't talk to your parents every week, you might think, you're not going to miss your parents. You'll just still talk to them every now and then. And I'll get to you in just a second. But what was I going to say? But when the option of talking to them, when the option of, seeing your family and all that stuff, when the option of just using your cell phone whenever you want is taken away from you, it kind of changes your perspective a little bit on what you appreciate. So anyways, I'm looking forward to the Sunday challenge and B Feinstein. God dang it, I can't do it with these names, y'all. I can't. But man, thank you. Gosh, you guys are doing amazing. I don't even know. Like, when somebody donates $1, I'm just flabbergasted, and it's hard for me to express thank you. And I know you left lots of comments, and you've talked to me and did that video, which is crazy. And you know what you're talking about. But man, do you know anyone that has done an Army 2-year active with 2-year reserve enlistment? Wild card Javi? No, I don't. Poor Matt, stop talking so much. So funny story. I feel like I'm gonna lose my voice. But I gotta do this for the people. I'm doing it for you guys. Gosh darn it. Holy cow. Oh gosh dang it. But anyway, so funny story. Kind of funny. It's really not that funny, but I'm talking about it. Right before this live stream, I shot a YouTube video, like right over there. I shot a YouTube video, and I was like, crap, my throat, it's not great for a normal video. So what am I going to do? So my throat's hurting. I need to do a live stream. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do a live stream, which is not the greatest thing in the world to do, apparently, because all I'm doing is talking now for the past 30 freaking minutes. Smart. That's super smart. That just shows you, like, that's great. Michael Clark, what are you doing, man? You crazy. $5 donation. Like the channel. I'm in the Colorado National Guard as a reserve. I leave February 5th. I hear I can have a mustache after basic training. Is that right? Yeah, so there's, AR 670-1, which is like the wear of your uniform and how your look and appearance and everything. And there's rules and regulations in the military for how you can have your facial hair. A mustache is okay. You can't have like this full-on mustache. It can't be like huge or anything. You can have that in the normal Army. You can have that in the normal National Guard, the normal Army Reserves. But when you're in training, you can't have that. You can't. Especially at basic training. When you're like, oh, I want to fade. Like, you're going to have a shaved head. You're going to be clean shaven completely. And I remember at AIT, even though AIT wasn't basic training, there were some guys that thought it was funny and they were going to try and grow mustaches at AIT. Well, that got kicked out right out of the way. So anyways, Spot, finally get to see your live vlog. Tango Chaser, awesome. Fort Benning, December 25th. Man, I'm just telling you guys, I'm just going to be straight up with you. If you are leaving for basic training from now until I don't know, freaking the beginning of February, I feel bad for you because it's going to be freaking cold. It is going to be cold. You know, right now you may not realize it. You know, even in Georgia and stuff, because I was in Georgia whenever it was cold. You don't realize it, but when you wake up in the morning at 4 in the morning, pretty much anywhere you go, it's going to be freezing cold, and I feel bad for you, especially if you're going to have to do FTXs. Oh gosh, that's going to suck. So that dude's giving away his whole bank account. Tommy Williams, what's up, man? Whew. January 9th. Fort Benning, February 26th. February 26th won't be that bad. For me, I went to basic training over the freaking heat of the summer at Fort Benning. I went from the mid-May to the very end of July. I graduated basic at Fort Benning on July 24th. So I pretty much got the whole middle of the entire summer. And then I stayed in Georgia and went to Fort Gordon in, you know, I got the August of the summer, so that was super hot. And then I stayed at Fort Gordon for a little over 5 months. So anyways, I recently got a 49 on practice ASVAB, but my recruiter said that if it was real ASVAB, I would have scored higher. Is this true? And if so, why is this? Is the practice harder or what? Fat sucker. First off, what the heck is with that name? That's really interesting. But anyways, I think that's true, and I think it's true for the most people that I've seen. From my experience, it's true. I scored, I don't know, I scored in the 80s, somewhere around there. I really don't remember, but I scored in the 80s. I know that for a fact for the practice ASVAB at the recruiter's office. Then I got a 91 on the actual ASVAB without any studying, and there was only like 2 days in between. So I took a practice ASVAB. A couple days later, I went to MEPS and I took the actual ASVAB. And I scored a 91, which is higher. And from what I've seen, people generally do better on the actual ASVAB than the practice ASVAB. I'm not sure if it's technically harder for the practice one or not. But I don't know. But generally, people have seen to do that. Connor, bring on the cold. You say that now until you're shivering, freaking freezing cold, and then your first sergeant says to downgrade. So you'll be out there, you'll have your full winter PTs on, and then they're going to tell you to downgrade your uniform, and you're going to take off your jacket, and you might take off your pants, and because you have shorts on underneath your pants. So yeah, because what you do is you'll wear, for example, your short sleeve t-shirt, then you'll put on your long sleeve t-shirt, then you'll put on your jacket, and then you'll put on your shorts, then you'll put on your pants. And that's kind of like the full big winter gear. Then you'll have the toboggan thing, and then some gloves, which the gloves suck. Also, word of advice. I was not at basic training over the summer. I was in AIT, and we could do this at AIT. I actually doubt you'll be able to do this at basic training. I'm actually about 99.900. I'm 100% sure you won't be able to do this at basic training. But when you get to AIT, make sure you get some gloves that are not the Army gloves. So get some black gloves if you're going to basic training right now, because it's still going to be cold for you in February, March, or whatever, whenever you get to AIT. So make sure you get some gloves for PT in the mornings. That will help a lot. 77 is a pretty good score. Yes, it is. Whew. 102 people still going strong in this live stream. 102 people still going strong. Oh. Did going 11 Bravo ever cross your mind? No. What actually did cross my mind, what I actually went to a recruiter for the first time whenever I was 18 was Special Forces. Went through the whole process with that, ended up not doing it. Long story short, that's the story. But if I was ever going to do it, like back then whenever I was going to do it, I'm not going to do 11 Bravo. I was going to go SF. So... And the reason I'm not SF now, that I'm not wanting to be whatever, is basically because my life has changed a lot. Things have changed a lot. And I like doing what I'm doing now with my life. So I don't want to change it. What can I do if I get a hold of my Air Force recruiter? I have given him multiple phone calls, but no response. I had to go to the Army recruiting station to sign up for the ASVAB. Don't call him. Just go up go walk up to the recruiter, you know, like freaking just go talk to him. Be like, hey, you haven't been, you know, returning my phone calls or whatever. You don't have to be a jerk about it, but just be like, walk up there. A lot of times they like you to call and tell them when you're going to come, but if they're not responding to you, go to the dang recruiter and just say, hey, I've been trying to contact you. I've been calling for a week and haven't got a response, so I'm here now. So that's what you should do. How does one get good? That's a very vague question. Do you know what an IT specialist does? Yes, that was my job. Ugh. What is some question? Hawker. By the way, gosh, y'all been doing a lot of comments. Like, legitimately, even though I like that there's a lot of people watching this right now, and there's a lot of people commenting, and I love your comments and your questions. I feel legitimately bad that I can't get back to every single person who is asking me questions. Like, I legitimately feel bad, which sucks, but I'm doing my best. But anyways, are there any Army programs other than ROTC? Are you talking about to be an officer? If you're talking about to be an officer, there's just OCS and ROTC basically. So I guess no. And Tango Chaser, oh man, really like your vlogs. Good info for the new recruits. Thank you, man. Tango Chaser, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's the goal. What most of the channel is centered around is for people joining the military. Like 90% of the channel, anyways. So I really appreciate that. It should change your boyfriend, but better. What's going on? My boyfriend just got out, and he was so much sweeter after because he appreciated me more. Yeah, like I said, you learn what you appreciate. Now, I will say this: don't expect him after basic training. Like, oh, he just graduated from basic training. He's super sweet. He super appreciates everything. He's super, you know, whatever. That some of that will wear off, right? Some of that will wear off. He'll get to AIT and chip piece by piece, little chips of that, you know, discipline is gonna start to come off. He'll still be, in my opinion, much more disciplined and appreciate things a lot more. But you know, the who you are on graduation day at basic training will all that discipline and all that hua and all that stuff, all that appreciation will start to fade as you know, usual. Like, you know, let's say you were stranded on an island. You know, let's say you were stranded on an island like Castaway or whatever for freaking, I don't know, X amount of time. You know, that first day when you get back and you get to see actual people, that's kind of what it feels like on basic training, like family day and graduation. You've been stranded on this island called basic training, and you get to see like your family and your friends, and you get to eat normal food, and you're just so dang appreciative of that. But you've been stranded on an island. Once you're off the island for so much amount of time, a lot of that appreciation just starts to wear off. But it's not like you just totally go back to how you were. You're still going to be different, in my opinion. Like, the military is going to change you. It's not going to change you for the worse, but it's going to change you, in my opinion. It changed my outlook on life. I still appreciate things a whole lot more now than I used to, for sure. There is 73 likes and 96 people watching. Oh, that's okay. How do I get airborne if it's not in my contract? I have one station unit training at Fort Leonard Wood, July 9th. Any tips in general? Well, I'm just going to address the first question because I do tips all the freaking time. And I've done it like 50 times in this live stream already, I feel like. But if you don't have airborne in your contract, there's a couple ways that you can go about getting it. Number one, be really freaking good at your PT score, because, you know, sometimes, especially if you're active duty, it's going to be much easier if you're active duty. But sometimes they might say, hey, we've got 3 slots for airborne. We can send 3 soldiers to airborne school. Who's got the 3 highest PT scores that hasn't been to airborne school yet? Okay, these 3 people haven't been to airborne school yet. They've got 3 highest PT scores. They're going to ask the 3 people, do you want to go to airborne school? Yes, yes, yes. All right, well, if you're not those top 3, you're not going to get your chance to go. If you're at an airborne unit, your chances are very likely, and you just make sure you go to airborne school. In the Army Reserves and the National Guard, it's not very likely if you don't get it in your contract unless you're going to an airborne unit, or you're gonna have to do something really good. So, is it a good idea to get a graduate degree after a bachelor's before joining for quicker officer promotion? So you're saying, is it a good idea to get your master's degree before even joining the military? I would say no. It's not a requirement to have a master's degree to become a major as an officer. But I mean, the fact that, I'm going to get promoted faster in general just because you have a master's degree is pretty much, it's not true. To a certain extent, it will be maybe later on if you're being compared against other people. But, going from second lieutenant to captain, you're really not going to get promoted any faster. To go from major or from major to lieutenant colonel, make sure you have that master's degree, but I would not say it's very important to have at all before. What are some good books to study for the ASVAB? I made a video talking about studying for the ASVAB and what books and stuff like that. In the description, I have a link to like my Amazon link, and I put a few books and stuff there. But personally, I'm telling you guys this, I did not study for the ASVAB at all. I did really well on the practice ASVAB at the recruiter's office. My recruiter just straight up told me, dude, you don't have to freaking study, you're going to be fine. And then I made a 91 on the ASVAB, and that's plenty good. That's plenty good. So I did not study at all. So, if you're asking me how did I study for the ASVAB, what books did I use to study for the ASVAB, I didn't. The best thing I can give for you guys, the advice that I can give for you guys, is to take practice tests. If you want to get one of those books, buy one of those $10, $15 books, and go through that and take some of the tests and those things, and that's going to be the best way to go. I don't know, honestly, of any one in particular book that's going to be better than the other. I think in general, just studying, doing those things will help you out a lot. So anyways, I see 134 likes. Is there really 134 likes? I can't see. Like I said, I can't freaking see the likes. What investments do you do or plan on doing while in the military? Take full advantage of the VA loan. I have helped most of my friends utilize it to keep using it to a great cash flow. Yeah, what I did was I actually used my bonus whenever I joined the military as my first initial investment into real estate. I bought one mobile home with it. Did that for a couple years. I've remodeled one. Currently working on selling my last one because I'm planning on moving soon. So, if I'm going to have, real estate in North Carolina and I'm moving to Texas, I don't want to have real estate in North Carolina. So I'm currently selling it. So that's what I've done. I've also dabbled in stocks and stuff, a little bit of Bitcoin. What is my Bitcoin thing right now? I do have a little bit of Bitcoin right now, and it went up a lot today. Actually, it's almost at 20,000. Bitcoin's almost at 20,000. Funny story. I wish I would have done this before, but I was trying to get it on Bitcoin whenever it was like at 4,000. But that went south because I did like the wrong thing. I tried to do the wrong thing or whatever, and it was just too complicated for me, and I was just like, screw it, don't want to do it. And then now it's almost at 20,000. I'm like, crap, I missed out on, doubling what I could have had now, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to invest the money I did in the military. I plan on hopefully getting an index fund, starting an index fund soon. So definitely going to do that. Definitely not wasting my money. Sounds great. Real estate is amazing. Yes, it is. Nicholas, thank you. Your channel helped me a lot. I would love to have a convo on Snapchat or Instagram because I have a lot of questions. Yeah, send me a message on Instagram or Snapchat. If you have a longer question, do it on Instagram because I can see that and I don't have to worry about saving that message. So anyways, I like the red. What are you guys talking about? Oh gosh. So anyways, I can't decide whether to go to college or military active. You can do both, Eric. But it depends. If you're worried about paying for school, then you can just do the military first, then use your GI Bill to pay for your school. If you're not worried about paying for school, then maybe you could just do the Army Reserves or the National Guard, do just a short contract, and then go to school. Once you finish school, maybe finish out your reserve contract and then switch to active duty. That's a possibility. Or you could just do college and then do active duty if you're not worried about that. If you want to be an officer, there's always ROTC option, and you can get active duty. Do you know what happens at pre-RASP, prime intensity? So my little brother went to pre-RASP. He was option 40 contract. Pre-RASP, for those of you who don't know, it's just like this little period of time between RASP, the Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, and so it's between that and Airborne school. So if you have an option 40 contract, you're going to go to basic and AIT or your one station unit training. Then you're going to go to Airborne school. Then you're going to go to pre-RASP, and then you're going to go to RASP. What RASP or pre-RASP is basically just a period of time that is an undetermined amount of time. It could be 1 week, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 3 weeks, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, whatever. It just depends. But it's basically a time where they're going to be making you do duties. They're going to be smoking you a lot every day. It's not going to be a fun time. And literally, from my brother who's gone there, who ended up quitting out because he realized he didn't want to do it that much, or he didn't want to do Rangers as much as he thought he was going to do. Pretty much every person that I've gone to basic and AIT with, and most of the people that I've known in person that have been to pre-RASP, and from what they have done themselves, which is drop out in pre-RASP, and what they've said that like over 80% of people do in pre-RASP is drop out. So just because so for 80% of the people who are watching this right now, you're probably going to drop out in pre-RASP, because it's not like it's going to be in my mind super oh, it's just so freaking difficult, I can't get through these smoking every day. It's more of you just realize, hey, I don't think this is actually what I want to do. Because when you're joining the military, you're watching all these videos and you're watching all these movies and you're like, oh yeah, the Army is just so freaking awesome, I'm going to get to do all these cool things. And then you actually join the Army and you go through basic training and you're doing these FTXs and you realize, hey, being a Ranger is actually probably going to suck a lot. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cool things, but there's going to be a lot of suck. And you're going to be like, I don't think I really want to do this as much as I thought I wanted to do. And then you're just going to be like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. So anyways, that's what's going to happen to a lot of people that go there. So anyways. What? Somebody said something? Anyways. Where's a bug? I don't see it. Where's a bug? This is kind of crazy. Where's the bug? Your right, my right. Well, that's crazy. I never really see these around, ever. I don't see it. All right, if I'm gonna put my hand. Is it like over here? Is it over here? All right, I'm gonna put my hand up. Is it over here? Where is it? Hey, Cynthia. To your right. All right, this is my right. Is it to my right? Gosh, I feel like this thing is super delayed. Like it's really delayed. Huh. Anyways. It's held for review. This message is held for review. Where is it? I don't see it anywhere. I don't know. Is it actually something, or do y'all just thinking of something else? It was there? Oh, okay. Well, that kind of creeps me out. It was a massacre running surveillance on you. Oh man. Ashley, I was doing push-ups so I didn't see y'all have like thrown me off now. Now I'm like worried a little bit. I'm like, oh god. So anyways, I think it's gone. So the live stream is actually way more delayed than I thought it was. Is Sapper harder than Ranger School, and will I do it? From what I understand, Sapper School is a hard school, but it's not as hard as Ranger School. Will I do it? Probably not, because I'm going to do Ranger School. Sapper School is kind of more geared toward engineers and that kind of thing, of which I'm not going to do it. 6 o'clock. Man, y'all got me freaked out over here with this thing. Y'all got me freaked out. Go back 4 or 5 minutes in the live stream on the floor. How do I go back on the live stream? All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go back on the live stream. Let me go here. This is awesome. All right. I may not last long. All right, let's go to this live stream. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go back on the live stream. Go back. It's held for review. This message is held for review. 5% of people thought he was gonna RASP. What RASP or pre-RASP is basically just a period of time that is an undetermined amount of time. It could be 1 week. Didn't want to do Rangers as much. It just depends. But it's basically a time where they're going to be making you do duties. They're going to be smoking you a lot every day. It's not going to be a fun time. And literally, from my brother who's gone there, who ended up quitting out because he realized he didn't want to do it that much, or he didn't want to do Rangers as much as he thought he was going to do. Pretty much every person that I've gone to basic and AIT with, and most of the people that I've known in person that have been to pre-RASP, and from what they have done themselves, which is drop out. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 3 weeks, it could be a month, it could be 2 months selection program. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I see it. Holy cow. The bug is probably in my bed going to sleep. You know how freaked out I'm going to be? Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, so I don't know where that went, but I just looked for it, but I can't find it. Anyways, all right, let's get to greatest live stream ever. Yeah, this is not great for me. Yeah. Do you know the pass rate for Ranger School, not RAS? No, I personally don't know it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just guess 50%. But reacted tooth. What you missed was something not very great. Yeah. Man, I wish I would have seen that before. I'm gonna drop a bomb. You know, like one of those bug bombs that you can get at like, you know, a store. I think I'm gonna do that now. Give me an example of a personality type that would absolutely not make it in the Army or should probably consider something else. Did you have anybody in your group that couldn't conform? Yeah, there was one guy that got discharged for failure to adapt, and that's what's going to happen to a lot of people who don't adapt to the Army lifestyle, that have issues. They actually get, I'm freaking out, but they actually get discharged under failure to adapt. And we had one guy do it, and basically he had anger issues. And the kind of people that I see that have a hard time, man, is it like still there? Y'all are saying this stuff. Anyways, the people that I see that have a hard time with the military are the people that have anger issues. So if you get irritated really easily, if you have a really hard time with authority and you can't deal with that, and I mean like a legitimately hard time with it, those are the people that I see having issues. They blow up. It's not too great for them generally. So yeah. I'm legit freaked out. Well, yeah, there's no more, but now I don't know where it's at. Jeez. It's back. No, it's not. I'm trying to like block off this whole side so you guys can't see anything, so you can't keep saying stuff. I'd rather live oblivious than live thinking that there's a bug next to me. You did not see a snake. Would somebody be able to go to both Ranger and Sapper School? Yeah. One of my platoon commanders. So at advanced camp for ROTC, so the last training thing I had to do this past summer, the commander for my platoon, he had a Ranger and he was in the 75th Ranger Regiment. He had a Ranger tab and a Sapper tab, so he was a Sapper Ranger. And so yes, it's possible. Dang, I typed out the whole comment for nothing. Aaron Hunter, what are you talking about? Aaron Hunter. Have you had a nightmare about the hazing that will be endured with becoming a butter bar? LOL, JK, all jokes. No, I haven't, and I'm not worried about being a butter bar. I'm not worried about any of that stuff, because I know for me, people might see that I'm a butter bar, that I'm a second lieutenant, and then usually, you know, if you tell somebody, you know, you're an officer, you're 01E, so you're 01, you were prior enlisted, that generally gains a little bit more respect than most, you know, second lieutenants. Like, okay, this person was enlisted before, that's all good. Then you gotta make sure you have a good PT score, so that's good. So if you have a good PT score, that's really good. The other thing that you can do as a second lieutenant is have a Ranger tab, right? So if you are a second lieutenant and you have a Ranger tab and you're prior enlisted, I feel like for me that's going to be like a doubly good thing. And then just for me, myself, you know, from my experience, I'm a, you know, pretty good leader. I'm not like, you know, I don't know, I guess all up or whatever about it, but I think I'm going to do a legitimately good job, and I think that will gain the respect of my soldiers that I have, so I'm really not too worried about it. Butter bar is good but bad. Have you heard of net neutrality? Yes. I have heard about it, and I believe that they just decided to not go through with it. So, anyways. Check your Snapchat. I just took a video of that bug. Gosh, y'all got me a lot of messages on here. I got seven people. Look at all you. Can you see? Focus. Look. Shout out to everybody who just followed me on Instagram. That's awesome. But anyways, when are you going for OCS? I'm not doing OCS. I am going through the ROTC program. ROTC and OCS are two completely different things. But anyways. So I think I'm going to finish the live stream off here. It's been an hour. It is 11:30 where I'm at. My throat is killing me. Before I finish, if any of you guys didn't know, because I'm just super hyped about this, if you didn't pay attention to this, BPN, Bear Performance Nutrition, I'm sponsored by them. Link is in the description. 10% off. Code WARD. That's really cool. I'm really excited about this. It's also really cool. Like, I've been talking to like Preston over Instagram, and I'm like, whoa, you know, Preston. If you guys don't know who Nick Bear is and Preston Bear, anyways, the bug will come back. I hope not. But anyways, I'm really excited about that. I love their stuff, and I might close this video off with that. But yeah, so right now I'm basically working really hard, trying to get videos ready to go because I'm going to the beach next week. So I'll make sure I get these videos ready to go for you guys. Push-up video is tomorrow. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the push-up video, but with a little bit of a twist to it. Hopefully you guys will do the same thing. Yes, so that is it. I hope you guys have a great day. If you're not following me right here, go do it. I mean, if you don't want to, you don't have to. But yeah, any last things? I'm gonna wait for you guys to leave any last comments, questions, concerns, or whatever. I want updates on the bug. Oh yeah, yeah. Thomas. Don't leave. Good night. Anyways. Alright, so people are starting to get off the stream. Thank you everybody, especially thank you for the super chatters who donated. That was awesome. I really, really appreciate it. War on Bugs, definitely. Yeah. So what is... if you commission but you don't like being an officer, can you resign from commission and resume your enlisted rank? I'm not sure. I don't think you can. Maybe I could get out and then rejoin back in as an enlisted soldier. I don't know. I don't know why in the world you would want to do that. Like, I don't know why in the world you want to do that. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to cut the stream off in 3, 2,